Welcome to this session. My name is Shaocheng. I'm a developer evangelist at Agora. And Max, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Max. I'm also a developer evangelist with Shaocheng at Agora, and I'm really excited to tell you about Agora Marketplace extensions today.
Cool. All right. So in today's session, Max and I will be introducing you to the Agora Extension Marketplace, a new feature provided by Agora. To begin with, what is an extension marketplace? As the name suggests, it is a marketplace of extensions that you, as a developer, can integrate into your Agora applications to achieve many kinds of advanced functionalities on top of the video or audio call provided by Agora APIs. These include things like turning yourself to a bunny rabbit or make you sound like a robot. Agora has collaborated with pioneers in the industry, including Bose, Bonuba, and VoiceMod to build these extensions and to really simplify your development process. Before we have this extension marketplace, if I, as a developer, want to add a new feature to my Agora applications, such as a voice changer feature, I need to spend a lot of time researching different vendor solutions online, evaluating my options, figure out whether they are compatible with my Agora application, and finally make a bunch of changes to integrate the library to my code base. In addition to that, I might need to negotiate with vendor regarding billing and payments. A lot of business hassle that I just don't want to deal with. Now, with the extension marketplace, my life is a lot easier. I can just browse the extension marketplace for the variety of pre-integrated extensions, choose the extension with the feature I need, make very few changes, which we'll show you in just a second, and boom, the feature is added and working. And because extension providers and Agora has a unified billing and payment path, I don't need to worry about any business negotiation either. So basically, this turns from a week or months-long job into an hour or even minutes work. So in the remaining time of session, Max and I will be showing you an example of how to integrate a VoiceMod extension from the marketplace into an Agora project. Now I will let Max to take over and kick off the iOS demo there.
Here we are. So this is the front page of the extension marketplace. This is where you as a developer would go to see the extensions that are available to add to your Agora applications today. As you can see, there are a few to choose from already. We're going to look at VoiceMod today. Here's VoiceMod's marketplace page. As you can see, a description of what this extension offers with an overview of all its features. There are also a few links to documentation, support, and a link to the downloads. Let's check out the downloads now. Here we have a download for Agora's SDK 4.0.0 and VoiceMod's extension framework. We'll take a look at how to integrate those to your application soon. Let's go ahead and activate the extension. As part of the extension agreement, some of your details will be shared with the extension partner. After a few moments, the extension is enabled for your account, and you're almost ready to start developing with it. Your Agora projects will be listed just above here, and you can click this toggle to enable it for that application. Now, your application is ready to go. You can click there on the credentials to see your VoiceMod credentials. You'll use these in your application once you've installed the packages. Now that we've seen how to browse extensions and enable it for your Agora account, we'll explore an example project showing full implementation of VoiceMod in a bare bones Agora video streaming applications. For this example, these are the downloads that we downloaded earlier. We need to get from the Agora version, 2 of the frameworks. You might need 4 for other applications, but for this one, we only need these 2, and also the voice mod extension there. Drop them into Xcode, and make sure you set them to copy. After they're copied in, you need to scroll down just below here and make sure they're all set to embed and sign. Next, this is our main view controller, which displays all the local and remote camera feeds. Let's take a look at the voice mod specific UI that's been added. There's 2 toggle switches added here, one for the background sounds that come with some of the voice mod presets, and another for the voice changer preset. When the switches are toggled, a check will run to see which switches are toggled. Note here that the background music will not be enabled without the general voice changer. First thing we need to do is enable the voice changer extension from voice mod. We'll put it inside of this method here. As you can see, we pass voice mod and voice mod extension changer in there, and pass the enabled boolean as true to enable the extension. Down below, enable extension is called. Enable voice changer is called. And this is what switches on the actual extension. The first time we run through this method, we have to pass in the token, an API key and secret from before, pass straight into a JSON string, easily with Swift. After that, we need to send this JSON string to VoiceMod so that they can verify that we have a valid account. As I mentioned, this is only called once for the extension. Once we have passed our credentials, we don't need to do that anymore. So this boolean makes sure it only happens once. After that, we need to tell VoiceMod whether we want the background sounds enabled. This is passed as a true or false string based on the boolean that's passed in to this function based on the toggle that we saw earlier. Next, the voice parameter must be set. This example passes the value of Titan, which you'll see in the demo straight afterwards. This string also needs to be wrapped with quotation marks in the Agora SDK. Application is just building, and we should see a demo right now.
Hi, this is the application running on iOS with the voice mod extension. Let's enable the voice change now.
As you can see, my voice is a little bit different now, and we can also enable the background music, which adds drums and other sinister sounding things.
That's all for the iOS portion of this. Back to Shaocheng. And everyone remember, if you have any questions about Extension Marketplace, put them in the questions tab to the right. We'll make sure we get to them at the end of the session.
Yeah, thanks, Max, for this great iOS demo here. For me, I will show you guys the Android version. Very similar. Since Max already covered very detailed part, I will do from a high level perspective. So yeah, let me share my screen. Yep, very similar to what iOS do. So when you download the voice mod extension, you need to put that as a library in your project. So here you can put that in your libs folder. Right after that, let's go back to the main activity. So this project is basically a one-to-one video call using Agora SDK 4.0, which just released yesterday. And it's nothing fancy, just a one-to-one video call, one people calling other people. And what we're gonna do today is we're gonna enable the voice mod extension here in this project. That's just Max showed. But to enable this extension, you actually just need 3 steps. Very simple. I'm going to show you here, right here. First, when you initialize the RTC engine, you can call this line add extension. Basically, this tells the RTC engine, say, hey, please add the extension to my project. After this, you want to enable the extension. How do you do that? So you can call RTC engine.enable extension. And this basically enables the extension for your project. And please note that if you want to disable the extension, you can also use the same API enable extension here, but put the false in the parameter. So now, actually, you have already enabled extension, but there's one more thing one more step you need to do, which is to authenticate. So to use every extension in the Agora Marketplace, you need to use API key, API secret to authenticate. So as Max just showed, you can get those API key, API secret from the Agora console. And here, that's where you communicate from the app level to the extension level. You should call set extension property, this API. What it does is sending data from app to extension. And now here, you need to pass the key value pair into parameter. And what it does, and you can say it here, prepare user data. And what it does here is it putting an API key, API secret in the JSON file, JSON object, and send it through this API to the extension. And that's it. That's the 3 steps you actually need to enable extension, voicemail extension in your project. But coming next, how you might ask how you can interact with the extension. So, for example, most of the extension will provide many different extension feature options, such as the voice mod. They provide many voice changer options. You can reference to their docs, see what they actually have. They might have many. Max just showed one, the title one. But how you can interact with that, how you can tell the extension, I want to enable this feature instead of that one. So that's the next part I'm going to show. So in my example, I'm going to show 2 different options here. One is the cave button, make you sound like you're in a cave, and next one is a robot, make you sound like you're in you're a robot. So so when people click the cave button, so that's where you want to tell the extension, please enable the cave feature for me. What do you need to do? Very simple and similar, called set extension property. That's the same method we use to pass the API key, API secret to the extension. But here, instead of putting the API key, API secret in the value, we put here the cave string. So you can reference to the voice mod documentation to see what's the exact string for each feature. But for this cave feature, you just need to put the cave string right here. And boom, that's actually, you need to enable the cave feature for the voice mod extension. Then coming to the robot one, very, very similar, same API, just put a different parameter inside. You put robot, right now you put robot here, and that's it. So that's actually all the steps you need to do to enable the voice mod, voice changer extension, your Android project. And actually, let's do a live demo now. I'm going to call Max from my device. I'm going to call Max from my device, and I'm going to mute myself so that you guys should be able to hear me from the other side, from the Max mic. Max, are you ready? All right. I'm going to mute myself. Connecting. Okay, you guys hear me, right? Okay, so I'm going to first try the cave one. Hey guys, I'm in the cave. All right, let's try a different one. That's the robot. Hello, I'm Robot Shaocheng. Very cool, right? All right, yep. So that's the Android part demo. Let me back up mute. All right. So this is the voice changer extension we just showed in the demo. Very interesting, right? We have many more extensions that are currently available on Agora Extension Marketplace, such as both pinpoint extension, which you can do noise cancellation, and symbol conversation intelligence extension, which you can translate your speech to text data in real time. You can check out this session at console.agora.io/marketplace. Max will put that. Yeah, Max already did it. Put that. Thanks. Put that in the chat. So feel free to check out the website and play around with them. Those will become very handy when it comes to real-time engagement application development. If you want to contribute to Extension Marketplace as well, take a look at our Agora Extension Marketplace vendor doc, which Max also shared in the chat. This including all the things you need to become an extension provider. Check it out. And we might have a business talk very soon. All right, so that's most of our presentation today. And let's leave the rest of time for the questions part.
So we've got a couple of questions already. There's one here that says, here from Jerry, that says, do all the extensions come with iOS, Android, React Native versions? That's a good question. Currently, the latest SDK from Agora, the latest video SDK and audio SDK, which was released yesterday, is only available on native platforms such as iOS and Android. React Native will be out very soon. Integrations with those will depend on the vendor once Agora releases our SDKs.
Right. Just also want to, just want to emphasize again, like this extension marketplace needs the new SDK, which is we just released yesterday. It's a new SDK as a very robust functionality we have. So please check out the new SDK we have. It's gonna be found there.
And that's a 4.0.0 version of the SDK.
Right.
May you share a link to the voice mod documentation to find out what voices we can toggle? I'll go ahead and do that right now.
Yep. This so you can go to our console, the one the Max shared in the chat, console.agora.io/marketplace. That's all the extension you can find there. And in each extension detail page, you will see a button that goes to the implementation guide. That's actually their documentation. Check it out. Each extension has their own documentation. You can check it out and see what feature they provide.
I've also shared a direct link in the chat for you, Eric. Oh, someone's asked if they can develop their own extension. Do you want to take this, Shaocheng?
Yeah, Denise. Yeah, sure. To develop extension, you definitely can. Check out the vendor doc. Like those including all the things you need to write an extension. Basically, it's using the same SDK, but it's a low-level API. You can get the raw audio data, video data from the SDK, modify it, and push it back to our SDRTR network, and you'll be able to make an extension yourself. Check it out, please. And let me know. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions during this process. You can email me, Max, and even email Devrel. Just let us know if you have any questions. We'll love to help.
Just put the email for Devrel in the chat as well. If anyone has any questions about the extension marketplace, we've got a lot of extensions in the pipeline as well. We're working with some incredibly talented people to get these extensions in and basically get this technology to you in as few steps as possible, which makes everyone's life easier. And yeah. Are there any? Oh, there's something just popped up. Let's have a look. Do you have a diagram to show where the extension connects into the Agora architecture? I don't know if we do right now.
We do. I think we do have the developer documentation. So let me find the developer documentation for you, and that explains everything regarding how you can interact with extension. how you can use extension, how you can interact with that. Am I understanding the question right? So Jerry, do you actually want to understand how to build extension, or how to how to use extension?
I think he wants to know how it's interacting with Agora. Like at what point does it take over and the data get fed into the extension?
Let me find the documentation for you.
Again, if that's not quite right, Jerry, if there's something not sounding exactly what your question had in mind, go ahead and send an email to devrel@agora.io and we'll get back to you really quickly. But Shaocheng's just put a link in there now, which should help out.
For receiving media participants from web client do not need extension installed, right? For receive, yeah. So since now you only have, so right now, extension marketplace, to use extension, you need to have SDK 4.0. But like on the receiver side, you don't need like the new SDK. Anyone with the Agora Agora product can actually receive your video, modified video or audio, sent through the extension marketplace extensions. Will do extension touch and have access to Mac target.
Yeah, so I think Jerry, the best thing to do is send us an email. I think it'll depend on the extension specifically. For example, VoiceMod don't care what your video is. Others might do. Other applications specifically translate your voice. So if you have a specific one or even a general one, send us an email. We'll get back to you and hopefully answer any questions, nitty-gritty questions like that. What is the additional size of one extension edition? Does it depend on the extension they're adding? Absolutely. The only additional thing that's added to your application is the framework, because everything else uses Agora's frameworks as you would add anyway. So I think some of these extensions could be very, very small. Something that's a bit more graphical, maybe it changes your video in a very big way, that might be a lot bigger. But it really depends on the framework specifically, and also the compressed size of the framework. When you build your app and put it on the App Store, for example, it's going to be a lot smaller than the framework itself. So it really depends on the framework. So hopefully that answers your questions there. For example, free tier? Oh yeah. Oh sorry. I was just going to say that the VoiceMod extension, the unzipped .framework file is around 30 megs. So compressed, we're looking a bit smaller than that.
Yeah. To Jerry's question, is there a free tier for testing out extension? Yep, depends on vendors. For VoiceMod extensions, if I remember correct, it's actually free for like we have a free trial right now. So you can try it out. Many vendors, many extensions do have a free trial right now. So right now is a good time to check it out and play around with it. Yep. All right. Any
SDKs? So Catherine's mentioning about TSMs that Agora uses Miro to diagram how you would connect. So yeah, send an email to devrel@agora and we'll get back to you on that for Jerry. I think that's the end of the questions. Oh no, we've got one more. For desktop apps, any tentative release date for the extensions? The desktop app extensions relies on the SDK update, which is coming. I'm not sure the timeline on it though, I'm afraid. Shaocheng, do you know what we're looking at there?
It's coming. It's in our roadmap, but we don't have a timeline for that yet. Stay tuned. It's coming very soon.
yeah, check out our Twitter or send us an email in a couple of weeks, and we might have an answer for you for that. But for now, iOS and Android.
All right, last call for the questions.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I think if you have any additional questions about Agora Extension Marketplace or need any help integrating extension, again, please feel free to contact me, Max, or email Deborah at agora.io directly. And thank you guys for joining the session, and looking forward to chat with you more in the future.